Alright then, welcome to DUMUZID. DUMUZID is basically a 7 DRL from 2015 made by Jeremiah Reed, and as you can basically see here, it's basically an abstract 1 HP roguelike that thinks outside the one tile box. It's essentially a play on the old Sumerian tale of DUMUZID the Fisherman or DUMUZID the Shepherd. And it's basically all about managing blocks in a sort of like Tetris type of style in a roguelike dungeon, so to speak. Now, this is basically another one of those games, just to throw it out there, that much like 99999 that I basically did before this, I was basically thinking to myself, is this really worth promoting? And I'll note by basically this is as you can probably already guess, it's basically another puzzle roguelike, but it's not as bad as 99999 was basically because it's not as minesweepery, so to speak. You actually have tactics and stuff like that. You have to sort of move around yourself, basically do stuff and stuff like that. So it's not as bad as basically 99999 was. So yeah, I'll just basically play a couple levels and basically see what the gist of it is basically all about. And why basically decide not to spotlight basically after that. I'll basically talk about that then and there. So let's play. All right, so there's the crest, basically, game by Jeremiah Reed. Special thanks to those people. How to play. So you can use the WASD keys or arrow keys to move. I'll also note that I also tested out the H, J, K, and L keys. They can be used to move as well. Use the Q and E or mouse wheel to zoom in or zoom out. You can kill any monster by attacking its core tile. You can also absorb any monster that isn't bigger than you. These rules apply equally to the monsters and to you. Running headlong into monsters probably won't work. Instead, plan your moves carefully. Note that monsters wait every 10 turns. Being big has some drawbacks, and you should generally try to avoid becoming enormous. If you get stuck, you may pray to the sun god Utu as a last resort. Bash on a wall 7 times. Utu will answer your prayers, but you may not like the answer. You put yourself in more danger with each prayer. Your goal is to escape the underworld by finding the exit on the 7th level. However, if you are more ambitious, you can keep descending. Throughout the underworld, you will find score patterns. If you can contort yourself into their shape, you will increase your standing. Alright, so that's basically a bit, basic intro to this, so let's just jump into it, shall we? Alright, so here we are. We're basically just one block right here. And basically there's tile right here, just basically just tile right there. Note this is basically a spell block right here. You'll basically be able to pick those up as you you get bigger and have the space to acquire them. And just because this is here and I can show it off. Boop! So basically those will instantly kill you if you basically walk into them. There is a purpose to them, but I'll basically show them off as we get around to it. So we'll basically show them off properly when I get around to it. Alright, so basically, the idea here is that we're trying to basically survive for the most part. And if we get the chance, we can basically pick up score tiles like this to get some points. And if we get the tile size, we basically can pick up these basically get more points. So there we go. We got that point, and now we can just go like this. And let's pick up him because why not? Now, since it's basically big enough, we can basically show off what these basically do here. So I can pick up these spells basically to do stuff. So we go like this and go boop, and there's basically a sort of earthquake type of spell right there. So basically these cause earthquakes to happen around you, which is cool. Some yellow tiles basically up here. We can basically smash into all of them. So boop, that basically grew me up a little bit. So possibly useful, possibly not. We'll see. There's a red one. This is going to blow up more tiles apparently, so okay. Good to know. Let's pick up him. So yeah, basically this game is Tetris in a dungeon for the most part. Whoops, I accidentally used my other spell there, but whatever. And I don't really I won't say this is not roguelike because basically you're it's basically, it has like all the like elements of a roguelike. Basically, like, you know, running for a dungeon, you're basically trying to like do your objectives, but you have like tactics. You have to sort of like figure out how to like, you know, maneuver like the enemies basically into positions that are like useful to you and stuff like that. Alright, we're just gonna avoid going this way for now. Let's go down this way. And we want to basically get our score basically up a little bit, I guess. So, oh, there's the exit. And I accidentally just blew off one of my own pieces right there, but oh well. Yeah, spells can be useful, but they can also be like sort of detrimental, so you have to be sort of careful picking them up. And, alright, let's go this way. Do that. We're just going to pick these basically up right here. So, boop, there's some score. And then we can go like this. Pick up that one as well, so, hooray. Now, note by the way, that one right there, I didn't absorb him because he was basically bigger than me. I basically hit his core tile, which is basically his at symbol, and that basically required, you know, made him basically explode into like pieces. So that's basically like sort of like how it sort of like works. That sort of mechanic. But like, you know, if you're bigger than like the enemy piece, you'll basically absorb them. If you're like, you know, smaller than them or like the same size as them, you'll basically like, you know, if you're basically bigger or the same size, you will absorb the enemy piece. If you're like, you know, smaller than the enemy piece, you'll just like out destroy them if they hit their core tile. And I'll note that like if you're small, you go hit like the other tiles, you basically like, reduce your size as well. So I'll show off when you get around to it, but you know, that'll come in time. Alright, let's just exit this level here. And we got some stuff right here around, so that's fine. There's a piece right there. So I'll note basically I want to absorb this guy here. I'll have to attack him like that to basically blow off one of his pieces right there, and you can just absorb him like that. So basically in this game, you're just like, you know, there's tactics basically in this game. So it's not like, you know, the other game I basically did before this. There's actually like, you know, some really elements to this game. And you have like spells and you have like, you know, other stuff as well. So by all accounts, this is like one of the better, like, you know, 70 URLs basically that has been done. And like it's much more akin to like a roguelike. But at the same time, it basically is like, you know, it's touches in a dungeon for most parts. But, you know, I'm basically like, you know, taken away from this. And I wasn't sure I really wanted to, like, you know, showcase this game because I didn't really think that, like, you know, it was, again, like, not really good enough, so to speak, for me. Alright, so yeah, we can destroy tiles with those. I may just want to do that, so I'm going to take this like, up right now. So let's go this way, and we'll go boop, blow off one of our tiles. Here we get the points. We'll absorb him again. Now, you know that these, like, you know, diamond-shaped, like, you know, roosters basically are, like, all over the place. They're actually the sort of place to sort of, like, you know, pieces are usually, like, place to be, like, annoying, but also at the same time, like, beneficial to you, so you can basically use them to, like, you know, help yourself out as if you get yourself in, like, trouble and stuff like that. That was a mapping tile, I think, so we actually mapped out the area here, so it's awesome. We can basically see that this guy's right here, and I don't really benefit from the size here, I guess, so now it's kind of dangerous what I just did right there, but basically, like, you know, I bopped into him and destroyed him that way. Hooray. Let's go this way. Wait to 10 turns for this guy to stop moving. There we go, we got him. And now giant square, so this seems like a good time to basically show off the diamond squares and how they basically start to work. So these diamond squares, they basically instantly kill if you run over them, but you can also reduce your size with them as well, like this. And that's how you can basically, you know, get around to, like, you know, pick up these things like that. So hooray for that. I'm getting a phone call here, so let's be right back. So just gonna stop the recording for a moment. Hooray for phone calls, but whatever. Let's just keep going on here. So yeah, I basically got this guy here. We're just gonna bop. Now, I'm not basically like, you know, I don't really need this like guy's size, so I'm just gonna get rid of his block like that. So that's basically the purpose of like these like, you know, diamond blocks. Basically use them to, like, you know, reduce your size when you don't like need to be too big like to do stuff. And by the way, these guys can pick up spells too, so you have to watch out for that, but whatever. Just gonna kill this guy outright, I guess. You know what? I think you really only need to have like this like size and this size for like this game, but whatever. All right, there's that basically picked up. We're just gonna move on to the next level here. And I'm just gonna test like is my like headset basically on here? It's a little bit annoying. I have to basically test, make sure my like headset's basically on in order to like keep playing this game, but whatever. All right, over here we got ourselves an enemy to basically like deal with. Boop, boop. We're just gonna knock him into pieces, I guess. Now, no problem with like the bigger pieces like that. If you basically find like there's like this huge pieces like there's like running around, you can't like bop them down to size, but in order like, to absorb them. But you really have to go after smaller pieces first to sort of like build up your size in order to go after the big ones. So in order to really like fight this guy here, for example, I need to go like over here, go here, and then boom, absorb him, so to speak. That's how you have to sort of properly like get bigger bases. Like you have to reduce their size to like their core tile, and like and then like absorb them at this point. And of course the spells and stuff like that make use of as well. So okay, good. So they're not that smart that they're like they'll try and attack your core tile. These guys, they won't necessarily go after like your smaller tiles. So that is something to note about these like enemies and stuff like that. And yes, we're getting nice and big here. So the thing about this game is like the bigger you get, the more like awkward you basically become. So it becomes like more difficult to do stuff. Like there we go. We're like absorbing him, but now we're basically in a spot where it's like I'm so big I actually can't like move around the level very well. So you start to get to see like so like the interest of this game is you want to be like big, but you don't want to be like too big, or else like you can't move around. So yeah, note that basically I prayed there to like Utu basically to like help me out, and like I didn't really like the answer, did I? Because like it just reduced me right down to like a shape of one again. But whatever. Let's get that point right there. It just goes to show you want to be careful with your playing and like not like get yourself trapped, or else like you'll have issues basically in this game. And it's worth knowing. This is a good game for sure. Like there's lots to enjoy basically, like how it's basically set up. And by the way, this guy picked up something there you saw, so that happened. Let's go this way. Yeah, I know this guy right here is like he's so big, like it's awkward for him to move around. Because that's what shower can basically do. By we can basically shower like tiles like that. Boop, boop. Now I think this guy can't hurt me if I'm not careful by absorbing me. So I'm just gonna go this way a little bit. Boop. Boop. We killed him off. And yeah, that's like sort of how you have to basically deal with the bigger guys like that. You have to plan outside the box, so to speak, in order to defeat them. You know what? Let's just leave this guy alone for a moment. I just want to pick up this right here. And boop, boop. That's sort of useful to me because I can knock off this piece over here. Make your way down to, like, get a score over there. Sometimes you can basically get all the score by the way, sometimes you can't, so you have to, think about that. Why did I do this? I have no idea. Messing around with, like, the stuff here is not, smart, but whatever. Let's just get that out of the way. That score. So yeah, green are mapping tiles, that's like, useful to me. There we go, we just grabbed this guy. I didn't do that one right, I guess. Red's basically explosive tiles, I guess, so... I'm nice and small again. Big and small, big and small. Let's kill off this guy, I guess. And you notice that there's like always like a plethora of like different types of like enemy space fights. So you have like big enemies, small enemies, stuff like that. Great to like Utu again, and of course cost me all my size again because I'm an idiot. But whatever. But yeah, I'll note there's like a lot to like about this game basically for like how it's basically set up because it basically has minimalist controls. You basically have like a lot of depth to it, regardless of the fact that like there isn't like a whole lot basically to it. There's definitely a lot to appreciate with like this game for sure. Just kill them off. Note that the enemy pieces are smart enough to like avoid areas they can't really like hit you in. So if I go here, he's like I can't get to you. I see you, but I can't get to you. Boop. You can get to me now, by the way. So just kill him off. Oops, I accidentally killed him as opposed to absorb this guy, but whatever. I figure like beneficially you want to be like not doing that, by the way, but that's how you can like lose the game, by the way. You get killed. That's actually really good, like showing what DUMUZID is basically all about. Essentially, like it's a puzzle game for the most part again, and it's not as like bad as like 99999 was for like its puzzle elements, but it's basically like how you can basically like go yourself into shape basically to like get around the area, so to speak, as opposed to like the traditional like sort of like dungeon crawling experience where like you're running around like smacking enemies in the head in like a sort of like chess like pattern, I guess we'll say. Anyhow, it's definitely a game worth playing. For example, like DUMUZID. But other than that, not much more to say about it. Hope you guys basically enjoyed the Let's Play for it, and take care.